So yeah, not long after the last risking money on Japanese cardboard video, we've got a very spicy one here. So I don't actually know off the top of my head what the total cost is. And I'm not going to go, because there's quite a lot of cards, I'm not going to go through and condition check every single one on camera, but I will do the majority and the main ones. Rounding off the last video, you guys would have seen that I had a couple of damaged cards. One of them was this beauty here, which, as you can see, I have now gone ahead and bought a bunch more of. Primarily because I do just think this artwork is really solid, and I think if it was an illustration, if it was a SAR, sorry, rather than just an AR, it would be incredibly expensive. So, I mean, that one is looking pretty much near mint, so we'll definitely take that. Yeah, before I go ahead and like submit anything like this, I'll double check just to make sure, but we'll just go through, check the most interesting ones. I think that regardless of what the price is at now, I can only see these guys doing well over time. That looks pretty good as well. The art is sick. If it was an SAR, it would be incredibly expensive. It's just a bit on the cheaper side currently because of the ease to pull, and that one's off center, which is a shame, but I guess can't really complain. It's probably still near mint. Yeah, that looks definitely off. Probably not going to be able to grade that one, which is fine. I'll put it to the side. The other two that I saw look pretty good. That one looks pretty decent, maybe a little off top to bottom, but should definitely be the parameters. It was interesting as well, I noticed that there was like an article flying around that PSA have apparently updated the centering parameters. Apparently it used to be, well, I always thought it was 60-40, but in terms of how off-center could be in the front from one side to the other, apparently they've changed it to 55-45, so I'm not sure about that. I think that's all right. Again, I'll check these with UV lights as well. Something that I didn't do on camera in the last video. At least I don't think I did. But it highlights a lot of things that quite often the regular light doesn't pick up. So it's definitely worth doing a very bright... Is that... That might be edgeware, it might not be. It's definitely worth having a UV light. I just bought like a UV torch off of Amazon. I think it was relatively cheap. We've got two big boys here, and already I'm looking at that and I'm saying that is off left to right, which is a big shame because these were not cheap. Again, I don't really remember what the price was. It's quite off centre left to right. That's not ideal. I'll need to have a look at that and see what I think. Yeah, I can't really afford for these guys to not be gradable. I guess I could always just sell it raw. Oh, look, is that better not be damaged. The one with better centering better not have any damage on it. I don't know if that's my fingerprints or not. I'll need to go over that in more detail because those are expensive, but they are very sick. They are from the new Battle Partners set, which is very, very cool, and they were on the more expensive side of the order. I thought this was quite cool from the seller as well. They included a bunch of random cards, I guess, to bulk it out because it wasn't the biggest order from that individual. This one was quite cool as well, not something I've got in Japanese. And then this, I guess, is quite on theme with the remaining remaining cards in the order. I've got 3 of these, which is again also from the new set. Very, very sick Articuno. Gen 1, never really going to go wrong with that, are you? That looks pretty good, Nick. That'll be probably my finger. If not, I'll wipe that off. I think anything that's like going to hit on that nostalgia factor during the current boom that we're going through can only really do well. It's brand new. I mean, I'm sure in English it'll be very expensive. These look pretty good. But very, very nice card. Got a third one here. The reason I'm buying multiples is, I guess, is fairly obvious. It's both to account for potential damaged cards or off-centered cards, because you buy blind from Japan, so you're never really 100% sure what you're going to get. But you can sort of hedge your bets on it. But what I've also seen, and what you're going to realise with these cards here, is I have actually bought most of these already at some point in time. But what I've kind of realised is, by the time I've bought a few, graded a few, and sold a few, they're too expensive for me to then buy more of, to then grade more. So it's like I run out of stock and I don't have any more, I can't get any more, because at that point the price has gone up so much for raw. At least that's what I've been experiencing recently. So I am hedging my bets a little more, shall we say. And I am doubling down on what I think is going to work. Again, transparently, the Tyrannitars are the ones that are still at PSA being graded now. So I actually haven't had them back and I haven't seen how they do on eBay. But based on the things that I have seen do well, I do think that those will be particularly strong. So I need to make sure that I've got backups ready to grade. And it's good that I'm starting to get into that position to where, oh, that's a bit of damage there. Don't know if you can see. It's just a little bit of a lift. Oh, there's a lift on both corners actually. Yeah, that one. Okay, well, look, the seller is generally pretty good. It's just a shame it seems to always be in the more expensive cards. He seems to be pretty good at refunding me when something isn't actually near mint. Is that a scratch in the card? Or is that part of the design? I think. Yeah, that's on the card. That's a real shame because there was only one of these in stock. Okay, well, that's a no-go. I'm not going to condition check all of these guys on camera with you, but I've got a couple of Tanglers here. I already had one, but again, these were too cheap. I think they were like £1 maybe. I'll condition check these guys. We've got some Ommonites. Again, these were from 151, too cheap to pass up on. With the price of 151, I just couldn't not pass up. I couldn't pass up on these, sorry. They were only about £1 or so. So really too good to pass up on. We've got this guy here. Is this Cleffa or Cleffa? No, it's definitely not. I need to wipe that off. Bit of dirt there. Overall, that one looks pretty good. It is a shame though, because it seems like essentially every single time I order from that one seller that something comes back damaged. So I've got a couple of orders coming from a different seller, which I'm quite excited to see what they're like. And then I'll be able to make my judgments going forward. I mean, there's quite a bit of dirt on that one, but I think it's definitely gradable, which is good. Then we've got finally some more of these. I've sold out of these graded, so I'm excited to have them back to potentially grade. Fingers crossed the condition is. These were doing pretty well for me. It seems like everybody's in agreement it's a great art. It's a bit... Oh yeah, that's definitely going to get... I don't know if you can even see that. There's a nick up there, which again is not great. I'm going to have to get a refund on that. Let's see in this one. The front looks alright. The edges look a bit funky, can't lie. I'm not really sure what's going on there. It kind of looks like it's been chewed up. I'm not sure about that one. I'll put that off to the side. I don't think I'll be able to grade that, just as I was getting excited to have more back. I think I bought 4. So at least if we could get 2 good ones, then that would be positive. This is... I'm not... I think that, yeah, that's gradable. Okay, that's fine. I was going to say I wasn't feeling too positive about that one after the others, but let's see the last one. Front looks alright. Maybe off centre, slightly left to right, but definitely passable. I think that's alright. Maybe just a bit of dirt. But that should hopefully be gradable. So at least we've got 2. But they were doing really well for me in 10, so much so that I've sold out. I actually have ordered quite a few more of these as well. I think that with the hype that this guy is receiving, I think this is just a card that's going to do well. So I ordered a bunch more of these. That's pretty good condition. These, the sort of ultra modern cards are generally in good condition, but are they, if they don't have a bend or something in them. It's the ones that are out of packs a wee bit longer ago. That was pretty good. So he's excited. I'm quite bullish on Serial Edge, as it were. Then I'll just show you the last two cards. We'll condition check him afterwards because I'm conscious of the time. We've got some of these scissors, which I just think the art is really, really sick. Again, I'll need to clean that guy up in the back. But I just think he just looks too good, and for the price, again, I'm just like, I don't think I can really lose money on him. Like, absolute worst case scenario, he drops by like £1 and I lose £1 or something, but I think it was just too much of a no-brainer. We've got the Veltols. Again, I do have some of these at PSA at the moment, but I just fear that the price is going to rise too much to where I wouldn't be able to afford it in the future. Now, this is something I've definitely noticed on a few of the cards from there. I don't know if that's just somebody getting grubby fingerprints on them, but I'll need to clean that up. It is frustrating. I don't really know. I'm probably going to have to stop ordering from this seller. And, well, hopefully the other seller comes good. But I've had that in the last one as well. I don't know if you guys could tell in the YouTube video, but there was definitely a grubby fingerprint or two. Yeah, that's got a big scratch in it. Okay, well, that can't get graded, so again, not ideal, because I mean, if you look at the ones that are damaged already, that's quite a good chunk of that order. These were probably £5 each. I think the Velton Tarantor, so it's probably about £25 it's damaged. So you need to factor that in when you're ordering from Japan. It is part of the risk. And then I just think, I don't know if I'll grade too many of these. Like, I would imagine if you get this in a 10, I'd imagine it's probably £30. So if you can get them in a 10, they're probably worth it. I don't think I'll grade the Tangolas for now, just because I can't imagine there's too much of a market for it. But either way, I'll go through and condition check the rest of these, and then I will put them into the top loaders, clean them up, get them ready for the next lot of grading. But if you guys did enjoy, then please do subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Instagram as well. I'll make sure to post a video when I'm doing my next PSA submission, which should hopefully be in the next few days, and you'll probably see some of these cards in there, and then I'll let you know what I expect the grades to be. But any questions, give me a shout in the comments and let me know what your favourite card from the submission is as well.